vamos falar então com a Stephanie e com a Michelle, elas são representantes internacionais da Universidade de Heidelberg, localizada na Alemanha, mais focadas especificamente nessa palestra sobre Study International Business in Germany. So, welcome, Michelle and Stephanie. Thank you very much for coming here in Effigy Talks. Heidelberg is a great city. I believe you have a great presentation also. Thank you very much, and the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Luigi, for the wonderful introduction. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully you guys should be able to see it now. Michelle, Cynthia, it's nice to see you guys. Can you give me a thumbs up if you guys can see it? Perfect. So thank you, Luigi, for the wonderful introduction. I'm Stephanie Farrar from SRH University Heidelberg. Here with my friends today, we're going to talk to you about studying in Germany, and I wanted to say a quick thank you to EFG for hosting us today. So our presenters today, it's nice for you guys to know who we are. So I'm Stephanie Farrar, an American here at the university working in the international office. I studied in our International Business Bachelor program that we're going to tell you guys a little bit more about today. Also with me today, I have my colleague, Michelle Hett. Maybe she wants to introduce herself briefly.
Yeah, good morning, everybody in Brazil. As you can hear from my accent, I am a British national working in Germany. So those of you that do decide to come to us to do your studies, you truly will be in an international environment. I will be looking after you if you come to the business school. Now I'll hand over to my other colleague, Cynthia.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Cynthia. I come from Honduras, and I'm studying a dual degree in international business and sports management at SRH. And I've been there for 3 years, and it's been amazing. Yeah, I'll pass you over to Stephanie, and we'll talk more about it later.
So, and I cannot forget to mention someone who, if you stop in our booth today, you're going to meet him. His name is Eduardo Neves. He is one of our Brazilian students here. He's studying in dance movement therapy right now. So if you have any questions, you can get information from a real-life Brazilian student. He also, of course, will speak Portuguese, but we encourage you to practice your English if you're coming to us. But if you need help, you can, of course, talk with him. So a quick overview of all of our programs, because I know most of you are in high school at this point, but I believe many of you are also bachelor students as well. So we offer many programs at the university in the area of computer science. We offer engineering programs. We offer architecture, which is a new program at the university, as well as business programs at the master level and bachelor level, and therapy programs. We are a private university, so we do charge tuition fees, but honestly, if you've been looking at the US or the UK, you can see that our prices are quite competitive, and all of the programs on the screen are taught 100% in English. So it is quite competitive what we can offer to you. Most of our programs are between 1.5 and 3 years, depending on what you're wanting to study. It might be that you're considering coming in April if you've taken a little time off, but most likely we'd welcome you guys, hopefully, in October next year. So a little bit about Germany. I asked one of my colleagues who works in the admission office, who studied in Germany, a little bit about her experience. So she passed on a few things to you guys. Firstly, Germany is very safe, especially for women. We're actually all women on this presentation today, so I'm sure my colleagues here will back you guys up. Germany is very safe for you to go out, even at night, into the city and have a drink or dance with your friends or go out to dinner and stay a little bit later at night. Also, there's a great international student life. If you don't know, Heidelberg is the oldest university city in Germany. So there are a number of international students who've been coming, I believe, for almost 1,000 years now to our city. So you don't have to worry that you're going to be alone or that you're going to be unwelcome. You are very much welcome and in very good company in Heidelberg. Also, the work opportunities. Heidelberg is located in the largest technology cluster in Germany. So that means as a student, if you want to get some work experience, and we encourage you to do so, you can easily do that at any number of companies in the area. Next are benefits for non-EU students. And this applies not only to Cynthia, but also to me, as we're graduates of university, well, soon for Cynthia, in Germany. You can work as a student for 120 days. Like I said, we encourage you to do so. It's part of your visa, and companies in Heidelberg know this. So you don't have to worry you're going to get a job that's going to violate your visa. They understand this, and they're used to working with internationals. Next, at the end of your studies, you can apply for an 18-month job searching visa. But to be honest, in my experience, none of the students have needed the full 18 months just because of the location we're at in Heidelberg. If you put in the work for your program and you're very proactive looking for a position and learning a little bit of German, like Michelle and I have, you can easily find a position here. Then at the end of 2 years, if you have a contract for longer than 2 years after your graduation, you can apply for your permanent residence in Germany. I can say from my experience that this was fairly simple. In fact, I just did it this year, and it's a very simple process. So if you decide you want to make Germany your permanent home, like many of our students do, you can do that fairly easily. And I do want to add, because I really love this picture, this is not a marketing picture on here. This is actually something I snapped on my iPhone. Yes, our city is just this beautiful. It's world renowned for being one of the most beautiful cities in Heidelberg. So after the event today, I encourage you guys to go ahead and Google our city, and you're going to fall in love like so many people have. In fact, the slogan in our city, Michelle and Cynthia, do you guys know the slogan of our city?
The place to fall in love, something like that.
The German part is "Ich habe mein Herz in Heidelberg verloren," right? Cynthia's shaking her head. And what does that mean?
I lost my heart in Heidelberg.
And Cynthia did.
Exactly. That's exactly what it means, because it's such a beautiful city. So take that into account too, not only what you're going to study and where you're going to study, but where are you going to live? So you'll see a familiar face on this slide. It's Cynthia from our Instagram page here. So I wanted to invite Michelle to come up and tell you guys a little bit more about our International Business Bachelor program. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Steffi. So I actually take care of the business school bachelor degrees taught in English. Any student who comes to us will be taking part in a 3-year international degree. But it's not just international in name, it's international by nature. So from the very beginning, you will be mixing in a varied international class with students from all over the world. Because of the nature of our teaching, we change the course every 5 weeks. We will also change the countries the students come from every 5 weeks. So it's a truly international in-class experience. On top of that, we employ international lecturers, guest lecturers, and full-time SRH lecturers. So you will be taught by professors from all over the world. Finally, when you come into the degree program, all of you will be offered the opportunity to have at least 1 semester abroad at one of our partner universities. I actually encourage you to have a whole year abroad. So you take your internship abroad and even write your thesis abroad. So in that respect, you would only have 2 years in our program, and the 3rd year would be overseas. And it could be 3 different countries. But we would help you find that. Don't worry about that. And you don't need to decide before you come. We will help you. But one degree is not always enough. And some students like the idea of within the 3-year or 3-year 6-month time to get a second degree. And we offer the opportunity for our students to get a second degree in one of 4 different countries at the moment. And there are 9 double degree programs. So that means you could choose to go to any one of the 4 countries or 3 continents. So that is New Zealand, Korea, Spain, or the UK, and do a second degree at the same time as the SRH degree. You don't need to decide about this before you come to the SRH. You can come and have 1 year with us, come and talk to me, and then we could look at perhaps doing a second degree at the same time. So there's no financial decision before you come. There's no academic decision before you come. Just wait and see how you feel after you have started with us. And there's not a huge additional expense either. So we do have funding available for students. And that is something that could make a difference for some of you students. And absolutely, you will have full support. So I would look after your degree program with you if you decide to come to the business school, and you have the option of doing international business or international business plus a speciality degree at one of our partner universities. So have a little think about that. Now I'd like to hand you over to Cynthia, who is one of those special students who did choose to do an extra degree, or actually a little bit more than that. Cynthia.
Yeah. Hello. Yes, as I mentioned before, I'm doing a dual degree right now in international business and sports management. I already finished the sports management degree, and I will graduate from international business in 1 month, I think it is. It's almost around the corner. And yeah, it's been an amazing experience. You get to graduate with 2 degrees, which is quite an amazing thing to do. And the most important part, as Michelle said, you get support throughout the whole process, and you never feel like you're alone during all the process of deciding a dual degree. Well, my passion is sports management, and when I saw that there was this opportunity to get a dual degree in this, I just went running. I was like, I need more information about this because I really want to. And yeah, I've been here in Spain for over a year now. I did my semester abroad, a dual degree. I did my internship as well here in Spain, and right now I'm also writing my thesis because I just love it in here. And even though my heart is still in Heidelberg, I got like a really nice opportunity over here to work as well. So I have been in Spain longer than I expected to be, which is quite cool. And what I love about SRH is this international community. Like it was mentioned before, you always are meeting someone new from a new different country. Like you go to classes, and because there's like it's such a small group, you get to know everyone. So it's not like you're in a classroom with 150 students and you don't know them. Like you know who they are, where they come from, and you get this opportunity to get to know all like their culture as well, how they speak. Because they're normally if someone comes from if I come from Honduras and it's like, oh, how do you say this in Spanish? And they're always like joking around. It's like, oh, dos cervezas por favor. And that's like really funny. And then you get like really nice experience, really nice memories that you are gonna treasure throughout your whole life. And in SRH you can do that, and it's just quite amazing. Oh, like all the opportunity you have close relationship not only with other students but also with the professors as well as the people inside the university. So you never feel alone. Every time you have a doubt, just you can just go there to the office. Right now, I don't know how COVID regulations are with just popping to the office, but I could sometimes just go like passing by as like, hello, Michelle, or hello, Steph, or like just asking anything. And it's just nice because you feel part of a family, and it's a family that's just gonna be there all the time. So I will highly encourage you to go to the SRH page, look throughout the bachelor degrees and the master degrees because you're just gonna fall in love with it, and the international opportunity is just quite good. I can vouch about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I love how you said that, because when I was a student, I really felt the same. I would always pop by and ask Michelle how she's doing, and pop by the international office and ask the colleagues here how they are. And now I see you're doing it to us. I mean, you and I, even during lockdowns, we even just set up a coffee date and just chat for half an hour just to see how things were going. So I think that's one of the really unique things when people ask me, why did you come from California all the way to this university? Well, it's because you're a name, you're not a number. You're so connected with the faculty and the other students that are here. It's the student culture and the university culture here. Like she said, you're never alone. So I'm really glad you brought that up, because I feel the same way. So if you're interested in applying at the university, there's just a few formalities I want to highlight for you guys. Since you're going to be studying in an English program, we do have to have proof of your English skills. Naturally, that's going to be any of the standard English tests that you can see, well, I guess on your screen here. Any of the standard English tests. We even do take Duolingo at this time. One special thing on here that we can offer some of the students in an IB program that's in English, or some of the Franklin School students who did a significant part of their high school studies in English, or if you studied your bachelor program in English, we can accept that. We call it a medium of instruction letter. This can be maybe on your transcript, or it can be a letter directly from your university that verifies you studied most of your program in English language. We can accept that, and then we waive the need for any further testing. If you wanted to go ahead and start your application, you can do that starting from your final semester. For high achieving students, we would give a provisional letter to you, but for many of the students, we would hold your application just until you get those final grades, but you can of course submit it at any time and get that process started, and then we can help you along the way or give you more details while you're waiting to get those final grades. What we look for at the university is generally around the German conversion, which is a 2.5. Of course, better is always better. So for a 2.5, if you're maybe not a high academic achieving student, one thing I really like about our admissions team is they take a look at everything you submitted in the application. So maybe your grades are around that 2.5, maybe just a little bit lower, but you have some work experience, or a really good motivation letter. We look at your volunteer work. We look at everything that you've done, and we look at you as a complete package. So even if the grades are not the best, there's a lot of things that you can do to really boost your profile. So keep that in mind. We consider all of these things. For the bachelor students, we do have to make sure you have entrance into a German university. So if you're someone with an international baccalaureate diploma or US diploma, we do accept those as well. For the IB diploma, our friends at EFG can take a look through it because it is quite complicated. You do have to have certain qualifications. They can help you with that during the application process. For the US diploma, it's very simple guide. I actually have put it in the booth. So if you're maybe a Franklin School student, you can pop over to our booth and you can see the US requirements, which are fairly standard for a US school. If you are applying to a master program, then you can see on our homepage the exact qualifications, because you do have specific courses or specific backgrounds that you need for each individual course. The admission process is fairly simple. Everything's done online nowadays. So you can submit your whole package to us. We will give it a quick check. If anything's missing, we'll write back to you, usually within a day or two, to let you know what's missing. Once we have your full package, we will invite you for an interview. Usually it takes around a week, maybe two, that we would be able to work out a time that works for both of our time zones, that we can do an interview with you. This is going to be for most programs. Now, I know the interview is something that a lot of people get nervous about. I want to encourage you not to get nervous about it. I always tell this story. It's one of my favorites. I did my interview actually with Michelle, and I tell this to everyone who's really nervous about doing an interview for a university. What she said to me was, "You're interviewing us as much as we're interviewing you. So you're coming from so far away, so take that opportunity to ask your questions. You're going to be with us for 3 years. Make sure that we are a good match for each other and that we can give you the experience that you want, because we want happy and fulfilled students on our campus." So once you pass this interview, you do your tuition payment, which is going to be your first year of tuition fees. Once that's paid, you get your acceptance letter. For Brazilian students, I checked yesterday, you don't need to have a visa. So that's great news for you. You can apply for a residence permit after 90 days. So from start to finish, depending how fast you pay the tuition fees and do your interview, I'd say for most people, this is around 4 to 6 weeks in total. Our campus is really beautiful. We're one of the oldest and largest private universities in Germany. We've got around 20% of our students on campus being international, around 700 international students out of around 3,500. This is great news for you because, like Cynthia said, you can meet so many people from around the world and work on your soft skills, your intercultural communication. Our classrooms are set up to promote learning. By this, I mean everything is mobile at the university. You can move your desks. You can sometimes make one room into two or two rooms into one. We've got it set up so that you can really collaborate during your learning. The location is fantastic. We're right on the river in about 15 minutes from the city center or 10 minutes from the main train station. So our campus actually looks like this. We've got everything that you need to live and learn in one place. I'm chatting with you guys right now from here, from our blue tower on our campus. You'll see that also on our campus that we've got a library, we've got a sports center, we have accommodation on campus for students, as well as a cafeteria. One unique thing that we can definitely offer to you when you're looking for different schools, maybe in Germany or around Europe, is those on-campus apartments. This is not very common in Europe to be able to actually live on your campus. And this is something that we can offer to you, especially during COVID times. A lot of people are nervous about traveling and do I have to go into quarantine and who's going to help me when I arrive? Even if COVID, hopefully, is going to be something that we're not going to be talking about, hopefully in the next few months, hopefully it's something that's going to be a consideration rather than the norm. But if you're worried about that, don't be, because my office is just right down the street. And if you need help, one of our students can get to you really, really quickly to provide you with groceries or anything if you have to go into quarantine. But besides that, it is a great place that you can meet other students. You come here and you don't know anybody, we'll get into the kitchen, start talking to someone in there, make friends, and you've got someone on your floor right away who's also a new student and looking to make friends. You always make the best friends in the kitchen. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you the best things about studying, but I think Cynthia covered it pretty well. Your classes are actually really small, like she said. I think the average right now is around 20 students, so you can really get to know your classmates as well as have great contact with your professors. We don't actually call it lecture hours, we call it contact hours because you're able to interact so much with your professors. At the university, we're known for our practical teaching and exams. Essentially, that means in the classroom, you do very little of traditional lecture style learning. You're actually expected to be really active, meaning you might have a flipped classroom where you are given a subject and the next day you actually teach it with your professor's support. Of course, you teach it to the rest of your class. You might be doing a case study or doing a research paper. And then at the end, you are expected to produce something like a presentation or perhaps a research paper. You present your results. And this is really something that I think a lot of students until they graduate don't actually realize the benefits of, because basically you are used to working just like you will in the real world. You're used to actually having to produce something. Your boss isn't going to ask you to write an exam when you come into work. Your boss is going to ask you to finish a project. So you're going to have years of training by the time you go into the workforce. Also, we do have a network of global players in the area, places like the headquarters of SAP Global Headquarters, SAS, ABB, Bosch, Porsche. All of these industries are located in the immediate area, so you can do student working or maybe even graduate and work at one of these local companies. And I know that we're running out of time. We're taking a little bit longer than usual because today we have a lot of excitement and we had a lot of chatter, so I'm trying to answer the questions that were in the booth during the presentation today. One thing I wanted to highlight for you guys is that we have you focusing on 1 to 2 subjects at a time. They're taught in 5-week blocks. This is really fantastic because if you're someone like me who studies from or suffers from exam stress, you know, having an exam week with everything and all the pressure crammed in to just those 5 days, how we do it here is you focus and dive deep into 1 to 2 subjects over 5 weeks. And at the end of the 5 weeks, you produce your results for your class. So this is a huge benefit for you that I actually didn't realize until I did my semester abroad and had one of those exam weeks. And I really realized the benefits of having an exam every 5 weeks. Support during your studies, we offer a number of things for our international students. We've got an international cultural club, free language classes. We do have a business startup. So if you're interested in founding a company, even if you're not a business student, we have a foundation that you can go to get support for starting your company, and international students have done it. We also have a career center. We have an office, which is actually right next to me, that will help you with checking your CV. They'll also maybe do some interview training. If you've never done an interview before, they will sit down with you and pretend to do an interview so that you can get comfortable with your skills. Also, as part of that office, we have general studies. These are additional courses that you can take in things like communication, basic digital skills, employment, how to set up a LinkedIn, which is very important in Germany. You can take all of these extra workshops for free during your studies. And also, funding is a question I got asked a lot in the booth. You can find information about funding options on our homepage under Financing Your Studies. We're offering scholarships based on academics, financial need, or social engagement. We have information about loans. And of course, because I work in the international office, I want to highlight there is support, as Michelle talked about. If you want to do study abroad or you want to do a dual degree, we do have funding options, so do not let that stop you. We can help you there, whether it's inside Europe or outside Europe. Also at the event today is the DAAD. So if you're interested in studying in Germany at all, this is a great booth for you to stop by. They offer scholarships and free information for international students wanting to study in Germany. And I didn't realize this until last night, how famous Cynthia is, because she's also in this picture right here as being one of our scholarship winners. So I wanted to point that out because I just noticed yesterday that she pops up in this presentation quite a bit. So you heard her story from before. So really, if you want to be active at the university, there's a ton of opportunities. You just have to get involved like she did. And last on here, I want to invite everyone to an upcoming information session that I have with the DAAD Rio de Janeiro Regional Office. It's happening on December 9th. I'm going to get the details to our friends at EFG. I should have the registration link around the middle of November, so you can come back and hear from me and some of our Brazilian students as well. So I want to thank you guys so much for your attention today, and our friends at EFG can help you guys with advice and application support, or you can pop over to the booth and chat with me and Eduardo. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stephanie, Cynthia, Michelle. I've been to Heidelberg 2 years ago. It's a really beautiful city. The castle, the students' prison. I really enjoyed the city. It's amazing. I thought it was really interesting, the student prison.
That's
It's
supposed
But
to be our secret.
oh, sorry. So all the students there go to a prison? No, just kidding. If you want to know what it is, go to Heidelberg, visit it, and
it's a lot of
all
fun.
the bridge, the castle. It's really, really beautiful. So we have some questions here for you.
Perfect.
The first one is, where do most of the international students go after they graduate? Masters in Heidelberg, work in German, return to their home country. Ho- Do you know?
That's an actual real mix. A number of students so enjoy studying with us because of this unique 5-week block and the guaranteed international experience. They quite often stay on to do their masters with us. That said, there are many who return home or get work in the locality. We do have a very, very high percentage of the graduates walking straight into jobs. They're highly sought after with a German degree, studied in English, gives them a European perspective. They are well sought after. And the way they're taught, where you have no qualms about delivering a presentation in front of a group of people, because we help teach you how to do that, you're a very valuable person in the workplace immediately. And companies do recognize that. So it's a real mix of students returning home, or students staying to get German residency, particularly students who might like to have a second passport. Does that help?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. Uh, I have another question here. Beside all the compliments, is the international business course exclusive for the international students?
It's for all students, not just international students, it's for German students too. The international business program is taught in English, but we have students from all over the world participating in the program and
Okay,
professors participating in the program.
great. Thank you. So we are running out of time. We have some compliments from Olivia. She said it's really interesting, the presentation. Gabriella also said it was amazing. So thank you very much for the presentation, Stephanie, Michelle, Cynthia. I appreciate. All the students go to Heidelberg booth on uh, on the Effigy Fair Hall. So thank you very much again. We are going to the next presentation now.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Thank
Olivia,
you.
Gabriella, we'll see you at the booth.
Yeah.
See ya.